Dr. David Clark here on the Place for Answers. I want to answer the question why you can have Hashimoto's autoimmune thyroiditis but have normal TSH. So let's begin. If you don't already know, Hashimoto's is the most common cause of low thyroid in our country and in the world. 8 to 10, it is the #1 reason why women and men have low thyroid symptoms. It's not iodine, it's not tyrosine deficiency. It's an autoimmune condition in which you attack the inside of your thyroid gland, and that's called Hashimoto's. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, on my labs, my labs look normal, so how can I have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune condition, which sounds like this totally abnormal thing? How can I have Hashimoto's but have a normal TSH? Well, let me kind of tell you the thyroid hormone story, and this will make sense to you. The pituitary gland in the brain sends a signal to the thyroid gland called TSH. TSH then tells the thyroid gland to make T4 and T3. Now, about 97% of what the thyroid gland makes is T4. T4 is inactive. It doesn't do anything in your body. It's got to be converted from T4 into T3. TSH has a negative feedback loop with T4. And here's what I mean. Most labs use a range for TSH of somewhere between 0.5 and 4.5, which is a ridiculously wide range. I use a different range. My range for TSH, which generally is normal, is 1.8 to 3. Now you can tell that's a much narrower range. TSH goes up or down depending on whether T4 goes up or down. So it's like this. If T4 goes down, as in becoming hypothyroid, TSH will go up. Okay? Vice versa, when T4 goes high, as in if you were hyperthyroid, TSH will go way down. Now, in Hashimoto's, what's happening is your immune system is targeting the inside of your thyroid gland. It's targeting thyroid peroxidase, or TPO, and it's targeting thyroglobulin. And what happens is you make antibodies for these things, which direct your immune system to come into your gland and kill it. Now, TPO and TGB are what you use to make T4. So over time, if you destroy enough TPO and TGB, you can't make any T4, so your T4 goes down, your TSH goes up. Now, how could you have Hashimoto's but have normal TSH? Well, it's because in Hashimoto's, your immune system flares up and then calms down, flares up and then calms down. So what happens when you have a flare-up in Hashimoto's is you get an increased attack inside the gland. And what can happen is this will occasionally burst a little part of your thyroid gland open, and it dumps T4 into your system. And when that happens, your TSH can go down and you can feel a little hyperthyroid. However, it doesn't have to happen that way. You can have Hashimoto's, meaning you're attacking your gland. You can have the positive tests for Hashimoto's, but at the time that they measured your TSH, it looked normal. There's kind of a famous, I don't know if it's a famous study, but what you could do is you could chart out your TSH levels, chart them out every month for 12 months. If you did nothing to them, didn't take medication, didn't do anything else to try to calm down your immune system. If all you did was chart out your TSH over 12 months, here's what you'd see. January, it might be normal. February, be depressed. March, abnormal. April, abnormal. May, normal again. Why? Well, because in Hashimoto's, TSH goes up and down. It's really important for you to understand that most medical doctors look at TSH, and in my opinion, they over-focus on it. They act as if TSH is the only thing that matters, and that's what you have to look at to tell what's wrong with you and what's going on. Well, I got to tell you, I think that's completely, I think that's mistaken. I think that's not well informed, because if you only look at TSH and you never look at T4, T3, free T4, reverse T3, or T3 uptake, which would be a full thyroid examination, then you're going to miss what might actually be going on. But to kind of get back to the original question that somebody asked me is how could I have Hashimoto's and normal TSH? The answer is very simple. When you have Hashimoto's, it's an autoimmune condition, and the immune system will do this over time, and your TSH levels will go up and down. So just because you have antibodies that are positive, meaning elevated, but your TSH is normal, that doesn't mean you don't have a problem. That just means that your TSH was normal on the day that they measured it. And you probably, by the way, wouldn't get actually diagnosed with Hashimoto's until your TSH was elevated, okay? Now, that may or may not happen depending on the randomness of when you got tested. So for a lot of people, they've got Hashimoto's antibodies. They feel like crap. They've got depression, fatigue, weight gain, constipation, brain fog, high cholesterol, infertility. But because their TSH just isn't high enough, on their lab test, the doctor won't say you have Hashimoto's and they won't give them medication. They basically won't help them. And I think that's a really sad way to try to treat people. I think what's better is for you to find someone that can look at you and say, look, all your symptoms look like Hashimoto's. You got positive antibodies. Let's get into action, because there's a bunch of stuff that you can do to feel better. So that's the answer, because in Hashimoto's, TSH goes up and down anyway.